Hey everybody, welcome to Body Doubling. Finished taking my vitamins and I'll meet you on the other side. Well, hey, I'm finally back. It's the next day. I just didn't feel like doing my hair yesterday, you guys. You know, sometimes it just be like that. And I also don't feel like detangling my hair and doing the whole washing and shampooing thing either. So today, we are going to have a twist, refresh, and talk. But first, you know what? I think I'm going to change this top so y'all don't have to look at my hairy armpits. Yep, I do not shave my armpits. Well, I'm back, and it's been like 2 hours. But anyway, that doesn't matter. So anyway, it's been one of those weeks, you guys. I have been totally just unmotivated and uncaring, especially about my hair. And so I literally haven't done anything to it. And I kept her in twists because I just didn't want to do anything. And I didn't feel like washing my hair, but she needs to be moisturized a little bit. And a couple areas need to be retwisted. So I've got my mirror here. And I'm just gonna, remoisturize my hair and, just yap. So anyway, I'm gonna go back in with this. When I refresh anything, I always go back in with the same products I used, just so there's no problem. And so I'm gonna be using this as my moisturizer and this as my gel for my ends. And then hopefully I'm gonna try to get another 4 or 5 days out of it and, get to the next Sunday so I can, wash my hair next week. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, I actually thought about doing like a little bit of a, I don't know, like a natural hair journey. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to share, but mostly what had happened was I had stopped working. Actually had a mental breakdown due to not knowing that I was ADHD and on the spectrum for autism, and it just had built and built and built and built until I just all of a sudden became this person. I don't even know who I am anymore. Anyway, it's all new to me. Excuse me. So let me slow down and pay attention. So today I'm going to be moisturizing my hair. And so for that, I'm gonna spritz a little bit of my aloe water. Something I did a little different with it this time, since I'm using it to help me refresh, is I added a little bit of peppermint essence oil and a little bit of rosemary, for my scalp, because my scalp's a little itchy and stuff like that. My hair's used to being washed once a week and I'm trying to stretch it out to 2 weeks. So little difference there. And so after I just, and I'm not making it wet, I'm just moisturizing it enough to be able to work some of this in. Okay. So I think I'm going to do my hair journey in like parts because it's a long hair journey and today's just not the day for it. Maybe I'll do a part 2 on Sunday when Sunday comes up. But so when I was very small, 3-4 years old, when our mamas would do our hair, and stuff like that, and we were always yelling and screaming and crying and, because we were tender-headed. And look, you guys, we weren't tender-headed. That shit hurt for real. And I say that because I'm 64 years old and I'm still tender-headed only to a specific point. Like if I go to a salon and they're just ripping and tearing through my hair, yeah, it's gonna hurt. Doesn't mean I'm tender-headed. It means that shit hurts. Stop doing it, okay? So anyway, there's that. So what I do is I like to take these, like the front pieces and the top pieces, and then I'll just, unravel them, and then I'll just redo them. And I try to keep everything all equal. And if I am redoing that part, then I try to, take some shed hair out, and everything like that. And then what I like to do is, take my gel, just a little bit, not too much, and work it back into the root area, because the roots are what starts looking bad first. And you guys, I'm going to be all over the place. I'm looking here, and I'm looking here, I'm looking everywhere, and so I'll just keep that in mind. But yeah, so I do that, and then I like to add a little bit of extra gel down the edge. Now see, this is the thing that, especially for us with ADHD, we rush, we're impulsive and impatient. But if you take a look here when you're refreshing, see how that looks kind of fuzzy? We want to attend to that, now while we can. And so what I'll do is I'll take my moisturizer and just run it down like that until it looks nice and moisturized. See the difference? That's what you want. Then once I get that, then I just go ahead and I retwist. And this is really good for like emergencies, for like when I don't want my hair to get dry, because I'm trying to grow my hair out and I don't want it to get dry. And then I go through bouts of, I don't know if it's just depression or just not caring, or whatever it is that's going on with me, and I'll just not want to like do stuff. I'll like not want to brush my teeth, or I don't want to get in the shower or something that day, or I don't feel like doing my hair. And my hair, I'm finding out now that I understand it better, I'm finding out that I don't have to like stress over it like I have been. If I can't get to it, at least keep it moisturized, like we're doing today. Now see that? See how nice that looks? And then that's all I do. And then, let's see. Yep, and then move on to the next one. And I don't do them all. I just do the ones that need it. And they don't look too bad because I've been staying on top of it. So there's this one, and it's just a little dry. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my moisturizer, not a whole lot, and I'm just gonna work it in like that. And see how it's better. And then to hold it in, I'll take just a tiniest bit of gel, and then I'll work that down also. And then maybe twirl it down. But that's how I re-moisturize. But anyway, I decided a long time ago, I've decided that I'm not tender-headed. I've decided that, when you rip and pull your hair and stuff like that, it's gonna hurt. But anyway, so when I was very small, my mom was like, oh, your hair is such a hard, and I'm yelling and screaming and stuff like that. And I had this horrible father. And so he would be like, oh, you're causing your mother problems with your hair? Well, then I'm gonna do your hair. Hey guys, he would hold me between his knees and hold my arms down, with his legs, and just rip and tug and pull and snap. When he got done, I would have a ball of hair like this sitting on the side of the tub, and I would just be crying and crying and crying. My head hurt so bad. So what my mother did, bless her heart, she didn't know any better. She wore wigs my whole life. I've never seen my mother's real hair. At the age of 3, I got my first Tony perm. It was a curly perm, to make my hair a little bit softer, so she could, detangle my hair better. And that's all it was. It was just a way to be able to control my hair. Sometimes I need to get something new. Sometimes I use this, on my parts and stuff like that, to keep everything nice and clean and everything like that. But this isn't very healthy, so I'm gonna be getting something else. But I'll take a little tiny bit, probably like that, and then I'll just just tap it along my hairline right there, and just use what I need, and then a little right here too. See how that kind of sets that down a little bit and just makes it a little bit cleaner. And so that's what I go for. And so anyway, I really feel like she did that and put that curly perm so I wouldn't have to deal with my dad because, you know, he was like, oh, well, you know, she's crying about something, you know, I'll give her something to cry about, and, you know, I'll do her hair. And I know my mother was like, oh Lord, you know, we really can't let that happen. So, and I don't blame her for that. And so from the time that I was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 until I was like 7, she put Tony curly perms in my hair and everything like that. And I remember the first time she put that in my hair, I was so sad because my hair, when she would put it in like these big long pigtails, my pigtails would like hit down to, you know, down to about right here. And I remember being able to go like this, and I could feel the little balls on the end, you know, just swinging around and everything like that. She cut all of that off and cut my hair short. I mean short. And then she put that curly perm in there. I remember because my friends across the street were like laughing at me. Oh my God, you know, blah, blah, blah. Look how short your hair is. It's all curly. You look like a boy. And oh my God, it was absolutely humiliating. And so it was hard enough for me as it was to make friends. If you watch my last video, I went into that quite extensively, my friendship video last time. And it was hard for me to make friends, you guys. And she cut all my hair off and put that perm in there like that, and it just changed everything. And I remember just always feeling self-conscious. I literally had come convinced that, you know, black girls' hairs just don't grow. You know, we don't grow hair. It's not thick. It's not pretty, and you know, and I had convinced that I had, you know, how many times. Yeah, blah, blah, come over here and sit down your nappy head and blah, blah, blah. Can't get a comb through your nappy head, blah, blah, blah. Can't brush through your nappy head, blah, blah, blah. How rude. So I grew up my whole life thinking I have a nappy head, you know, and my whole life trying to figure out how to take care of my hair. And then I eventually got to a point in time where, I don't know how old I was, where I just stopped caring. It might have been high school. I completely stopped caring. I'm like, I'm never going to figure it out. And, you know, and then when I did get to high school, I was all excited because I'm like, there's going to be black people there. Because up until that time, I had gone to all white schools. And so I didn't have hardly any interactions with black people until I hit high school. And so I was excited to get there. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, blah, blah, blah. That's the first time I started thinking about my hair as something, as being attached to my body and not a separate entity, because all of the black girls there did not want to have anything to do with me. They were like, oh, who do you think you are, swooping up in here, coming up here talking to us like that, and you got that swoopty swoop hair, and you know, you think you're a white girl and you sound like a white girl. Oh, you guys, when I tell you I could not have been more confused. I'm like, what do you mean? Why are you talking? First off, I was like, okay, I understand the speech, but why are you talking about my hair? My hair's exactly like yours. They're like, no, it isn't. Mm-mm. So what I did is I tried to mimic their froze. My hair don't fro. It just doesn't. And so I would wash my hair with Prel shampoo back in the day. No conditioner whatsoever, just Prel. And then I would air dry my hair. It looked a hot mess. Then after it air dried, I would take a pick and I would pick it out, and hair flying everywhere. But I would pick it straight out so it would look like a fro. Then I would use a shit ton of hairspray. Aquanet, I believe in the pink can, was my favorite go-to. And I would spray the hell out of that fro. Unfortunately for me, by the time I got to school, I had no fro. It was just a big loose hanging ball of fluff, you know, that had like split down the middle and just like, you know, like that. So then I would get to school and everybody would make fun of me. And so then I would go to my locker because I kept, don't judge me. I kept Vaseline in my locker. And on days like that, I would just take Vaseline and then I would Vaseline it down and then just like put a headband on. Oh my God, you guys, I looked so bad. Luckily, I don't have any pictures of when that happened. I think I have like a high school, like a, you know how they take pictures for the, what's that thing called? You know, that book? You know, what's it called? The book where all the students are in there. And so, you know, every year, and then you buy it and then people sign it, that thing. And so it was picture day, and I had the most beautiful fro that day, my beautiful fake fro, but it rained and it was really windy. I didn't have any Vaseline, and so I went to the nurse's office and I asked if they had any, like, you know, ointment or, you know, like any type of ointment or Vaseline or anything like that. And she gave me a whole bunch of these little packets of Neosporin. Put that on my hair. I smashed it down and combed it. If I can find that picture, I'm gonna find it, I'm gonna post it here because you're gonna be like, oh, this poor child. And so now you gotta understand, when I had my nervous breakdown years ago, and I was home, and I felt like a loser, and you know, I had nowhere to go and nowhere to be, and I started looking at my hair and I was like, oh my God, bald spots, split ends, big chunks broken off and missing from 26 years of hot combing and flat ironing and wearing relaxers for decades. I've actually been relaxer free since 06 or 07. And so I've been a straight natural, burning my hair up every day, burning it up. Do you hear me? And the thing is I didn't know, I knew no black people with my hair, none. And so I just went to salons and just did what they said. Oh, well, you know, you need a relaxer, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, I don't need a relaxer. You see what my hair looks like. I never needed a relaxer that whole time, but I didn't know any different, you know? And so when I figured out that, I forgot where I was going. What was I saying? I don't remember. But anyway, I'll just keep moving forward. But anyway, when I figured out, you know, in high school that I didn't have the same kind of hair they did, I did everything I could to fit in. And I lost so much hair back then. I literally lost so much hair because it was just dry. I didn't put oil in it. I didn't put moisturizers in it. I washed it with Pearl shampoo and then put hairspray on it, and that was it. So, you know, my whole thing trying to fit in with high school was, you know, was a complete bust. And quite honestly, I haven't done any better. I still haven't made any friends. And, you know, and it's so funny, you know, the black friends that I have met, you know, even casually, you know, they're like, oh, you know, your hair is so, you know, is so beautiful, you know, who does your relaxers? And I was just hot combing my hair and, you know, using a flat iron back there. I'm like, oh, you know, I don't do relaxers anymore. I said I haven't done relaxers for, you know, almost 20 years. And they're like, well, you're lying. Oh, okay. How am I lying? Oh, there's no way that you can have hair that looks that straight, that looks like that, and you're, you know, it's not a relaxer. And I'll try to remember to insert a picture for that too. And I was just like, are we still doing this? Are we still like in like high school? Because it's kind of what it feels like. All you black ladies out there that are judging other black ladies and their hair, I don't get it. It promotes no logic whatsoever. Do you think about that? Do you think about that logic? Do you think about the fact that everybody's different? Does anybody have the same anything you have? So why are you judging us black women that don't have type 4C hair? I really want to know. And put some logic behind it. Okay, I'm done. So anyway, you know, one of the things that was so frustrating for me when I was in high school was, you know, trying to maintain something that looked presentable. I just wanted to look presentable. and I don't understand why it was so hard, and everything like that. And everybody had this emphasis on, what their hair looked like, and wearing makeup and all these other things. I don't wear makeup. I still don't wear makeup to this day. It's just not for me. I'm just one of those old, I guess I'm old fashioned. I just like natural beauty. And I think it's really interesting. So many people ask me why I look so young for my age. And I literally think it's because I haven't put any, like chemicals on my face or anything like that. I mean, I wash my face typically with like Noxzema, and then I use witch hazel as my toner, and then I have used oil of Olay as my moisturizer since I was 13, and that's all I use. If I put any makeup on, I might fill in my eyebrows. I might put on some mascara on my top lashes, and I might put on a powder, just to get the shine down. But other than that, I don't wear any makeup on my face. My face is completely bare right now. I don't even have powder on it. I washed it and then put my moisturizer on it and just left it, because that's all I felt like doing today. I just don't feel like doing anything. And it's not that I want to be lazy, and I don't know if it's like depression or anything like that I'm going through right now. I guess I'm just going through a lot of thought processing right now, because being newly diagnosed ADHD, and then also realizing a lot of other things, like being on the spectrum for autism. It's a lot. And I think more than anything, I'm just, just a little exhausted, little mental exhaustion, never hurt anybody, I guess. But I'm trying to be a little kinder and gentler with myself. And actually, with that said, I really need to take a break. So I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back. So I'm back. Well, it's been about an hour and a half, and still feeling rather low energy, so I'm gonna finish up here because I have a few more of these that I need to do. I can't remember exactly what I was talking about earlier, except just being exhausted with everything. I've been all over the place today talking about my hair. This was supposed to be like an impromptu hair journey and everything like that, back when I was going to do a detangle and talk, and then I didn't feel like detangling and washing my hair and doing all of that, so then I changed it to just retwisting. And so it was hard for me to shift into a different mindset and everything like that, because I had a thought process down. I knew what I wanted to talk about, and I knew what I was going to do, and then I like flipped the script on myself, and so I kind of confused myself and got myself off my game, which is kind of funny. But I have a few more of these that I want to finish up. And then for me, bottom line, I guess when I do come back next Sunday, hopefully with the full program, full talking about hair, maybe instead of doing a hair journey, because I actually want to plan that out, like have bullet points, and I want it to be of value, you know what I mean? But I think what I want to do when I come back is just talk about how overwhelming it is to, do our natural hair and those sorts of things, and all the confusion out there. Do we do the lock method? Do we do LOC? Do we do LCO? Do we want to lock our hair? Do we want to do twist outs, braid outs, wash and goes? All of those sorts of things. What kind of products do I need? I really kind of want to do something like that. That's kind of like a little bit of a, like, basics, going back to basics. Because one of the things that I did find out while I was going natural, before I knew I was ADHD, is all of the information was so overwhelming, and I'm already an overwhelmed person by design. And man, I was all over the place. I was buying everything, doing everything, and getting the most horrible results, not realizing that I was bending to being influenced. And I'm not calling everybody influencers out there, because that's not what I mean. But I was allowing myself to be influenced. Oh, I want to try what that person did. I want to try what this person did. Oh, her hair kind of looks like mine. No, it didn't. But I'm going to do that. And then I got to the point where I thought, well, my hair's just not going to do anything. It's just not going to act right. And so, now what do I do? And so my secret was, oh, my hair likes simplicity. And so that's kind of what I want to talk more about. Even just doing these twists and everything like that, and just refreshing my twist today and making my life simple, because I was having a rough time today. I was having a rough time on Sunday. This is actually I don't know what day this is, Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm that off kilter this week. But bottom line, I want our hair care to be simple, basic, and effective. And I want it to be something that feels logical and effortless. Does that make any sense? But anyway, I'm done with what I want to do. And so I'm going to put my hair back up because I literally still don't want to deal with it. I think I'll leave these two. I'll leave those two out. I'll let that be cute. And then I'm just going to put my hair back the way I've been wearing it all week. And I'm going to keep it out of the way until wash day. And I've got my little bun. I don't know if you can see it. My little bun there. And that's how we wear her. And then when it comes nighttime, throw my bonnet on and call it a day. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I've been all over the place today. I want to come to you raw like this, and not just when I'm having great days and high energy days and perfect days. You're going to see a lot of days like this too, where I'm just off kilter. I'm just feeling low energy. I'm just, blah, 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 rambling about just whatever comes to my brain, because, sometimes life just be like that, right? Anyway, I love you all. Have a great week, and I will see you in my next video.